But we had a great phone call last night, right? I was in bed. It's like 11:30. The phone rang. Very excited. Well, I wasn't. I was asleep. I woken up by the phone. My wife picks up. It's my son who's in the middle of Gaza right now. And he gave me lots of first-hand information about what it's like. Here, let me pull up a picture of him. Yeah, he sent this to me today. Now, my wife was really worried that he's going to be like really messed up, going to need a lot of counseling. He is super fine. He's the one in the background holding the fingers up, all right, stretching out there on Gaza Beach, right? So he's been there. Like, okay, so apparently he was telling me it's like a big honor to be in the first wave that goes in, right, in any combat situation, in any combat battle. And he was there, right? He was there in 2 hospitals. He was there, I think, the Shua hospital, and also, yeah, he was telling me, okay, there are weapons stored freaking everywhere, right? Like just weapon caches, so much more than the stuff they're showing on TV. He said, like, there's a mental hospital that he captured. I can't imagine that was much of a problem. There's a mental hospital that he captured, and it was right next to a school, right? And both of them chock full of freaking weapons, like just full of weapons. So, and so I was like, "What's it like?" He's like, "Just everything's destroyed." It's like they're not overplaying what the destruction. Like everything's destroyed. He says Israel has complete control over northern Gaza, right? Well, I wouldn't say complete, but has, like they've said, the first 10 kilometers you can walk in, no problem, right? No problem whatsoever. No, like they are completely in control. Hamas is terrified of them. Good. And see, the thing is this: he was telling me, like, he's actually been in real combat. Like he had anti-tank missiles fired at him. But the advantage they have is that that Hamas hides in these tunnels, right? And so they can only come up and they go back down again. So they don't have any time to like set up an aim or stuff like that. So I mean, like one time he said, and he said, Matt, there are so many. They've killed so many Hamas, like so many Hamas. And there are lots of civilians dead there, like in the street. And he says, "Look, we all feel terrible. Like we all feel terrible. But it's they can't go and bury them because they might all be booby trapped. They got to have like the engineers come in first. And like he said, there was a dead person in the middle of a destroyed street in a wheelchair." Right, and he said it was awful, right? It's awful. It's like, well, this is the job we have to do, and I'm proud of my job I'm doing, right? And I'm proud. Oh man, pride doesn't even touch it. Let me tell you, I'm insanely proud. I never experienced pride like this, and I'm not a prideful person. I'm an egotistical person. Am I prideful? No, I'm not really a prideful person, right? But I like, wow, he's because I've never been in combat. I've never even thought of being in combat. Like he's actually been in many battles now, right? And he's saying we are kicking their asses in a way that you wouldn't even believe. I'm like, they should let people know. They should tell us how that they're doing well in this war. But the trouble is, like the bleeding heart liberals will say, "See how evil the Jews are. They revel in the destruction." And like they really don't, right? I'm telling you from first-hand knowledge, they really freaking don't, right? But it's like, it's like a job they feel like they have to do, but they do have to do, right? And forget anything about the this ending with the ceasefire. It's not, right? There is. I mean, like, eventually they're going to run out of hostages to give back. And it's going to kick off. They're going to keep the military and the men or whatever. They're going to stop giving back hostages sooner or later. Well, they don't know where a bunch of them are, right? The ones that I'm really waiting to hear from was this little red-headed kid with his mother. That was here. Let me pull up a picture of him. Little here we go. This is a little red-headed kid with his mother was kidnapped, and like I don't know, this one I found really disturbing. Right, I found like really, really disturbing. So they don't know where they are. Right, they just gave them to a different group. It's bizarre. right? I mean, like it's just bizarre. Here, let me show you the picture of them, so you know which ones are talking about. Times of Israel. Like, I mean, like again, I do you know the picture of them being kidnapped? It's I mean, this is the one, and like you see her holding her kids and just terror. I don't know, but like these are, I don't know why these ones like hit me more than others, but like these are the ones I want back. These are the ones that I really want back. But they're look, no matter what, they're not stopping, right? They are. Hamas is not. What was that? I got a somehow. I had a thumbs up here. How did I do that? I don't know what I did. Because let me hit the thumbs up button and see if that happens again. That was bizarre. What was that about? Really? Yeah. Let me share that screen again. See if I can do it again. Is there anything I hit there when I close that window? No. Okay. I'm confused. Doesn't take much, ladies and gentlemen. Does not take much. Anyway. Here, let's look at this. So they're talking about the hostage exchange, and they're like calling it a hostage exchange is obscene, right? Is just completely, totally obscene. Here we go. There's yeah, I think this video says out very
exchange. It's a hostage exchange. Really? Okay, let's take a look at the innocent hostages being released on both sides of this exchange, shall we? This is Sharuk Dwayat, who posted on social media that she wanted to die a martyr before going and stabbing an Israeli in the head. This is Amelia Aloni. She's 5. This is Nafaz Hamad, who was found guilty and sentenced to 12 years in prison for stabbing her Jewish neighbor in front of her children.
Right. So that woman was really when they're saying they're exchanged, they're not all being sent to Gaza, which is where they should be bloody being sent to. They go wherever they want. This woman, who like she didn't kill her, but she stabbed her neighbor, right, in front of her bloody kids. She's gone back to live next door to the woman she tried to kill. I mean, like, what the hell? It's obscene. It is obscene.
Found guilty and sentenced to 12 years in prison for stabbing her Jewish neighbor in front of her children. This is Raz Asher and Aviv Asher. They're toddlers. Aviv is 2, and she's learning how to potty train. This is Mara Bakir, who stabbed a police officer while trying to take his weapon. This is Karen Munder and her 9-year-old son, Ohad. Karen teaches kids with special needs. There is no moral comparison between these people, okay? And yet we are giving up 3 times as many charged or detained criminals as they are giving us innocent civilians that they stole from their homes. It doesn't make sense. And by the way, when the IDF captured a girl for stabbing someone in the head, they didn't kill her. They gave her a fair trial and then sentenced her to prison. This is not a genocide. It's rule of law. Not a genocide, a justice system.
So it's interesting. I was watching Piers Morgan. He had a couple of people on arguing. And here's the problem as I see it, right? Let me pull up that clip. We're not going to watch the whole thing. It's like 10 minutes long, right? But here is the problem.
Since that Israel is divided over its hostage deal with Hamas, which has now been extended for a further 2 days.
Yeah, okay. So we have the Palestinian woman and the Jewish woman. Look, call me biased. I think the Jewish woman is way hotter, but that's just me for you, right?
Well, there are prisoners being released back to the Palestinians. What is your view of where things should move from here?
I think it's important that when we talk about hostages to also understand that there are thousands of Palestinian prisoners that have been held in Zionist dungeons and Zionist prisons for years and years. And
so basically she's going to say Jews are evil, right? And then she's going to come along and say, Hamas is evil.
Very, very viral on Twitter of Ahmed al-Mansra, who was convicted at 12 years old. This is a photo of him then, a photo of him now, and they're saying that he was abused in Israeli prisons. But if you look closely, you can see him stabbing 2 civilians at 14 years old. And a lot of them are calling this kid innocent just because he's a child. But
Yeah, listen, if you stab somebody in the head, you stab somebody in the head, right? I do hear that, right? So here's what I see as being the real problem. That the pro-Palestinian people, the Palestinians, the Gazans, Hamas, whatever, however you want to define them, right? They believe the Jews to be evil, super duper duper evil, right? And do atrocity upon atrocity and upon atrocity. I think this started for a couple of things. Firstly, this has always been anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism has always been Jews are evil because they do this. Jews are they take Christian baby blood to make their matzahs for Passover, right? That's always been like libel has always been the main source of anti-Semitism. So I think in 1948, when Israel wasn't destroyed, when Israel declared independence, and immediately all the Arab countries around attacked Israel, we should have been wiped out, right? We should have been wiped out. They told the local Palestinians to get out of the way so they can kill all the Jews, and that's how you had something like 700,000 or 70,000 Palestinians become displaced, so they didn't go back. I think, and I'm not sure, but they were invited back. Frankly, I think they certainly were in '68, which is why we have all the problems we have now. 67, I mean, which is why we have all the problems now. But I think they have this story that no, we weren't fighting normal people. We were fighting evil devil men. They would rape and murder and eat your babies. They gave them they basically projected what they thought the worst things they could do because they were thinking of the worst things they would do, right? And so that I think that's really where it came from, with a mixture of just good old-fashioned anti-Semitism, assuming Jews are always evil, right? Which I would say Owen Jones is a great example of that, right? He always assumes. Oh, we're going to talk about Owen Jones in a second, right? But that's. But she believes every piece of bullcrap. I mean, the Palestinian woman, every piece of bullcrap, every bit of libel about Jews. She believes it all intently. On the other side, we have us Jews, and we believe that the Hamas are genocidal, insane people who want to kill us and will do anything to do that, and we must stop them, right? So we both basically believe the same thing of each other. And, it's I don't know how to get past that, right? I don't know how to get past that. But here, let's. I want to see what's the name. Somebody talk about Owen Jones, which was it Julia Hartley Brewer from Talk TV.
Also, still of some of the footage. We talked an awful lot yesterday about the anti-Semitism march on Sunday, but the reaction of so many on the left, this bizarre sort of coupling up of the sort of Islamist, not peace-loving Muslims in this country, but Islamist ideology and the left. We saw it under Jeremy Corbyn and many of that ilk. But when you've got the likes of Owen Jones, I mean, who would sell his grandmother for a like on Twitter, putting out a video after seeing that 45-minute video that is ready.
I'm going to skip what I'm saying, so I can you can get the story. So he essentially Owen Jones put out a video on Twitter saying, "Look, I saw it, and I didn't see anybody being beheaded or raped. This stuff has been so widely documented, but he doesn't believe a word coming out of a Jew's mouth." The
government has put together,
especially if he doesn't say what he wants him to say.
Some of the footage, body cam footage, CCTV footage, other footage of some of the aftermath of the actual events during that massacre on October the 7th. It doesn't have a lot of the worst stuff in that has been described by numerous witnesses, but also some of the claims that have been verified by non-governmental organisations, independent journalists, a number of them who've seen it, who, I've talked to them about what they've seen, I've read their accounts, I'm willing to trust that. I don't need to see it. You've got the likes of Owen Jones, who's gone to see this video and has basically sat and took notes and said, well, you don't see any beheadings. You don't see any people being raped. You don't see any babies that are...
Well, no, you do see one beheading, but it's of a dead person, I believe.
Dead. So questioning a lot of what the Israeli government and others are doing, but in a way that he doesn't question what Hamas tell him. He's quite happy to parrot anything that Hamas says, rather than something that's actually got a lot of external independent verification. What does that tell you?
Well, before he answers, but like that is pure anti-Semitism. That is what people say. What is anti-Semitism? Oh, I can't criticize Israel. No, you can criticize Israel as much as you want, right? I always say this to Jeremy Corbyn fans, especially when he was going down. I'll say, listen, a legitimate criticism of Israel is never anti-Semitism. Illegitimate criticism of Israel always is. And what I'm doing right now is legitimate criticism of Jeremy Corbyn, and they're like, don't use my words against me. They dealt with it pretty much like that. But yeah, no, it's that right there. If you want to know what anti-Semitism is, that is it in its purest form.
I think it tells us that a lot of people are really morally lost on this issue. I haven't seen this Owen Jones video.
I think they're morally lost in general, right? And I think that's the problem with the world that we're creating today. I think that's the problem with Starbucks, quite frankly. It's morally lost, right? And I think we as a society are morally lost. That's why I think this is the end of days, right? This is why I think, it's we're heading to a messianic world change, right? Which I think is going to be terrifying, right? Absolutely terrifying. That's essentially what's going on.
Particular, I would want to watch it before commenting on him specifically, but I think we could clearly see on social media that there is a tendency amongst the supposedly anti-imperialist left, which is not to engage in skepticism, fog of war skepticism, claims on all sides, what's the truth and so on. We should obviously verify things that we're being told.
No, it's not that. It's they don't want to believe Jews. That's the first thing, and they don't want to lose their victim status. And that's what's really driving all these big demonstrations. They don't want to lose their victim status because that's the most powerful weapon they have, right? But like, how do we get past this, right? How do we move forward? Because look, one of the only options is annihilating everybody there, or like literally ethnic cleansing, which I am not on board for at all, right? In any way, shape, or form. I think vast majority of Israelis feel exactly the same way. Just not on board for that at all, right? We got to find a way of peacefully coexisting. So Elon Musk has been here, and amazingly, Elon Musk quite clever, man. He came up with this, and I agree with. I've been trying to say this, but he said it far more eloquently.
It's certainly been a day, I would say an emotionally difficult day to see the place.
Oh yeah, he was taken around all the places that the kibbutzes. By the way, I think I got an invite to go to Gaza tomorrow to see my son. After see how I'm doing, my back's been playing up. It's a reasonably long drive.
This is where people were murdered. I just did a talk with the Prime Minister, and I think obviously there are three things that need to happen in the Gaza situation. I mean, there's no choice but to kill those who insist on murdering civilians. There's no choice. They're not going to change their mind. From what my son told me, they're shitting themselves, right? They are like, when this truce is over, they're like, this is going to take some time to like clean out. But they are shitting themselves in a way that first-hand knowledge, right? I like to give you a bit of a scoop. Second thing is to change the education so that a new generation of murderers is not trained to be murderers.
Right, not just education, but take control of their media and pump the constant message that we can all live in peace and be happy, right? Just pump that constant message that we can all live in peace and we can be happy, right? And we should be able to live in peace and be happy, right? I mean, there's no reason why, like we pray to the same freaking God. I mean, that's the thing that blows my mind. It's not like we have different images of God. It's exactly the same. We pray to exactly the same deity, right? It's Bizarroville, right? Like we should be able to live in peace. They just got to stop hating us, right? But honestly, everything always comes down to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This thing over here, like really? I'll do this instead. Okay. No, there you go. Now open up. Which is the Dome of the Rock. But like, just through the media and through education, say the Jews want to be your friends. They don't want to fight. We don't. That's the thing. We don't want to fight. I would be much happier that we didn't need conscription. Or we had an army of Palestinians and Jews. I'm down for 100%, right? That we all work together. And like, I will be happy with a mosque next to my bloody synagogue, right? Living, and having peace. I would love that. I'm not even joking, mate. I would absolutely love that. Right now it's impossible. Again, this is a generational thing. Change education, 100%. And here's the third part. Again, I've been trying to articulate this, but Elon Musk does it much better.
And then the third thing, which is also very important, is to try to build prosperity.
Yeah. Build prosperity. That absolutely. Give people no reason, to want to constantly kill you, right? However, we do have an uphill battle. Let's have a look at this. Share screen, doink. Hang on. So this was shared by Sheikh Nabil. I have no idea. So he interpreted that as saying, kill those who don't accept you as their master. No! Just don't try and kill us at all. You stop trying to kill us, we'll stop trying to kill you, right? Civilize them with your education. Well, again, that doesn't seem such a bad thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe learn not to be murderers. That might not be a bad idea. And tell them you only bring development to poor and uncivilized ones. What? And tell them you only bring development to poor. Musk is speaking about Gaza to Israeli president in a language of a South African colonizer. Look, dude, you're bonkers McBonkers, right? That was actually a reasonably good roadmap into where we go from here. Because I don't want to live in constant war. I don't want there to be another generation of this. I don't. I'm like, what? For what? For what? Again, I like the only real thorny issue is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Really? When you really boil down to it, because that's built on where the Jewish temple is supposed to be and was, right? The third temple is supposed to be built there. But that's the fundamental issue. We've been fine. Listen, look, if we believed in God, if we were religious, and we thought the Judaism was real, we would have built that third temple 50 years ago, right? When we had control of it, but we don't, right? We don't, right? And I think we didn't want to usher in world war, right? But I think we'll usher in world peace, right? We're paradoxically, but that's where we are from the home front, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.